and they knew, and that it involved hazing and minor pledging, yes, they had the authority to do it anywhere.
6 years after her son died in a hazing incident at a WSU fraternity, her case is now being heard by the state Supreme Court. Sam Martinez's family says WSU bears responsibility for his death. The university says that's not the case. Hear from both sides tonight.
Warm and dry tomorrow, but rain hits tomorrow night and sticks around all weekend long.
A case of mistaken identity results in a federal lawsuit against Spokane police and its former chief. We'll show you the body camera video and break down the claims tonight. We continue to track breaking news tonight. This is a live look at SeaTac Airport as delays continue to grow at airports there and across the country. Alaska Airlines grounded all flights nationwide just hours ago, the airline blaming a major IT outage. Good evening and thank you for joining us for the KREM 2 Night Report. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Well, here's a live look at Spokane Airport's flight board tonight. As you can see, at least 6 flights have been delayed or canceled. Alaska Airlines sending out a tweet earlier tonight urging passengers scheduled to fly tonight to check their flight status before heading to the airport. Again, Alaska blaming an IT outage. No word on how long the planes will be grounded for. Washington State University is pushing back on claims that it was responsible for the death of a student in 2019. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy spoke with Sam Martinez's family. He died at a hazing incident at a fraternity. And Connor tells us where the lawsuit stands now. Connor?
Well, Sam Martinez's death in 2019 sparked ongoing conversations relating to university hazing and proper policy. His family says WSU knowingly let the tragedy happen, but the university says it can't control what happens off campus.
In November 2019, WSU freshman Sam Martinez died from acute alcohol poisoning. The result, Pullman Police and WSU agreed, of hazing at Alpha Tau Omega.
We, of course, were utterly crushed and shocked. And it took us a long time to even know if we could stand up again, frankly, after such a terrible hit of losing your child.
Sam's mother, Jolene House, says her family hasn't been the same since, but in the months that followed, they pushed state legislators for a change, and in 2022, they passed a new state law, Sam's Law. It requires schools to make hazing incidents public, and anyone that kills or seriously hurts a person in a hazing incident can be charged with a felony. But a lawsuit the family filed against WSU in 2020, 2 years before the law went into effect, argues the university is also to blame alongside the fraternity, saying hazing was already known to occur at WSU and still does.
Is hazing still going on at Washington State University? Definitely.
House says a Superior Court judge initially rejected her family's case, but in January, a Washington State appeals court ruled a university should bear the responsibility. This was a first of its kind for Washington State. In response, WSU appealed the decision to the state Supreme Court. The High Court heard arguments today, and their ruling will determine if the case goes to trial. WSU attorney Nicholas Ulrich says what fraternity members do at off-campus events like at Alpha Tau Omega is out of their hands.
They're going to have meetings, they're going to have clubs, they're going to meet off campus. This is a private residence where the university does not have any power to go to, observe, or be at.
The family's attorney, Rebecca Rowe, argued previous investigations show the university knew hazing had gone on years before Sam's attendance, and because of this, they should have intervened.
If it was an organized activity, and I use that term loosely, by the fraternity, and they knew, and that it involved hazing and minor pledging, yes, they had the authority to do it anywhere.
House says today's hearing was long overdue, but is relieved the case is now getting the court's attention 5 years after the filing, and they hope to bring the case to a jury.
Sam deserves to have his story heard and to allow others to render a decision on whether he was wronged by the university.
WSU President Elizabeth Cantwell sent a statement in response to today's hearing saying his loss underscores the importance of their ongoing efforts to safeguard the well-being of every member of the community. You can read her full statement on our website. That's KREM.com. Right now, there's no timeline for when the Supreme Court may hand down its ruling. Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
All right, Connor, thank you very much. Well, we are just 11 days away from tip-off of the college basketball season, and the Gonzaga men's basketball team is still waiting to see if a starter will even play for the team this season. KREM 2 Sports Director Andrew Quinn has more on the legal battle ongoing between the NCAA and Tyon Grant Foster.
This case is one of the more complex collegiate eligibility cases in recent memory. After the NCAA denied Tyon Grant Foster's waiver to play this season, he has now taken legal action against the NCAA. Grant Foster was due to have an injunction hearing in Spokane County Court today. A favorable outcome would have seen Grant Foster become immediately eligible to play. However, at 4 p.m. last night, the NCAA filed a motion to move the case to federal court due to Grant Foster's legal team invoking the precedent set by Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia's federal antitrust lawsuit, which ended up striking today's hearing. Now Grant Foster is in limbo once again as the deadline for schools to offer athletic scholarships and financial aid to winter sport athletes is now less than 1 week away. Grant Foster posted this heartbreaking statement on his Instagram story last night, in which he questions why the NCAA is so focused on denying him the ability to play this season. Remember, Grant Foster played 2 years of junior college ball and has played 3 full seasons at the Division I level. He played 1 game at DePaul in 2021 before suffering cardiac arrest and missing 2 full seasons. Obviously, this is an issue causing great concern for this year's Zags.
It's devastating, especially with the news that we heard about what's going on today. I talked to him last night. I saw him in the elevator late last night, and then that's when he had told me, and I gave him a big hug, and I was just like, man, just know that we're with you, and just trying to just stay engaged with him outside of the things that are going on right now. But everybody's behind him, coaches included, the whole university's behind him, and we just hope for a great outcome with this.
We will continue to keep you updated as this is a developing legal matter. Mark?
All right, Andrew, thank you. More than 30 people were arrested in 2 criminal cases that are rocking the basketball world tonight. One investigation involves the mafia. The other is being called the most brazen sports gambling scheme since online betting was legalized. Portland Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups and Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier are among those facing charges. The FBI says Billups was involved with rigging poker games across the country with the backing of the mafia.
These defendants, which include former professional athletes, used high-tech cheating technology to steal millions of dollars from victims in underground poker games that were secretly fixed.
Meantime, Rozier suited up but did not play in last night's season opener. Law enforcement officials say he and 5 others used insider information to place bets. They called it the most brazen sports gambling scheme, again, since online betting became legal. In the U.S., Billups' arrest comes just hours after the start of the new season. Trailblazers fans say today's news caught everyone off guard, including one Portland radio host.
It's otherworldly. I still, even though I talk for a living, struggling to kind of grasp like what exactly is going on. If this stuff sticks, not only does he go to jail, he's got a lifetime ban from the league. I mean, he's done. I don't know how many eyes this draws in the game sense, but I'm certainly wondering, how do these guys play?
The Trailblazers' next game is tomorrow at home against the Golden State Warriors. The team released a statement saying they are fully cooperating with the investigation, and an interim head coach has been named in the meantime. All right, taking a break from headlines, let's talk weather right now with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Lagoud joining us in the Outdoor Weather Center. Jeremy, we're tracking a storm heading our way, and you seem to be maybe shivering out there tonight.
Yeah, I walked out a little bit too early, and it's starting to catch up to me. Let's talk what's going on here, Mark, because temperatures down in the 40s right now. And with a little bit of cloud cover, we are not going to get as cold as we have been, but still, it feels chilly out here nonetheless. Huge plume of moisture coming in off the coast. Some of that cloud cover already teaming its way in. By tomorrow morning, we're looking at rain starting over on the west side. For us, that holds off until about 8 p.m. All those showers start to develop after the sun goes down tomorrow night. They'll move through Saturday morning, likely wake up to a bit of a break, but this big chunk of moisture, that becomes our rain through the middle of the day on Saturday. It eventually works its way out by Saturday afternoon, but by Saturday evening, we're back into some of those scattered showers, and that's the pattern that continues through Sunday. Sunday likely starts out a bit sunnier, but still winds up quite cool during the day. 62 tomorrow, rain returns tomorrow night, windy and cooler and rainier on Saturday.
All right, sounds good, Jeremy. Thank you very much. And don't go to bed just yet. The wrong car and the wrong man. Now he's suing Spokane police. He says they mistook him for a murder suspect. More on that coming up. But first, we hear from the deputy replacing the former Shoshone County sheriff who abruptly resigned yesterday. What we know about the investigation coming up in just 90 seconds.